Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dylan, and I'm back again for another comic book review. Now today, I got a couple books to talk about. I know I slacked and I took a little bit to get these out, but I was kind of, delaying rereading these again so that I could do a little proper review on them. But I got all of the Dawn of X titles. The only one we're missing is X-Men. All of these came out like not last week, but two comic book weeks ago, or two new comic book day weeks ago. So not last new comic book day, but the week before that. We got, in order that it says, Marauders 4, Excalibur 4, New Mutants 4, X-Force number 4, and Fallen Angels number 4. So I'll tell you off rip, I think that the New Mutants was probably my favorite issue, and then second, probably pretty damn close to New Mutants, but I'd still say New Mutants was my favorite. I would say that Marauders was close to it, but let's start off with Marauders first, because I like to do these in order that, it shows on the back. It says, Marauders, Excalibur, New Mutants, X-Force, and Fallen Angels. I'll tell you, my least favorite was probably, yeah, we'll get to it when we get there. But this one, Marauders, is called Issue 4, The Red Bishop, and this one is basically, it starts off with these kids in Brazil, and they're kind of scared. They are like on this island, and they one of the few times in a comic book too where I got music playing and I actually understand the music that's going on too. But the artwork, as always, is fantastic, and these kids see the pirate the boat's coming in, and they are very hesitant to like run towards the boat, because the second they do, this big army guy's like, you owe service to the state, you can walk off this beach, but if you do, you're a traitor, and the penalty for treason is death. And Fish Boy's like, fuck you, Paragon. And the other kids were like, the fish don't speak for us, like, please don't kill us. And we hear a voice that goes, no one will be killed today, these children don't belong to you. And badass Storm comes in wrecking shit, and the guy, he's like, do you really want to risk a fight with me? And Storm goes, I don't even know who you are. Almost like pulling a Thanos on him. And she goes quickly like, there will be no fight, and pulls up some lightning and crashes down on dude. And he's like, is that all you got? She's like, nah. She's like, that was just a little one. She's like, the main bolt is still charging in the cloud. And he's like, oh. And dude, she hits him with that main bolt, and that shit knocks his ass back. Oh man, this was a great issue. It if anything, this and New Mutants were tied, but I think I'd still go New Mutants. But this one I really did enjoy. So then we cut to they save the kids, and then we cut to Kitty Pryde and Bishop basically doing the main thing, and they have to go and they have to break into this house that is basically this woman who she's basically been given that she's a billionaire. Lim Zao, well, that's the guy who's actually supposed to be missing at the moment, but he lives there with his wife Chen, and she is at a headliner for an anti-mutant rally tonight. So it's a perfect time for them to break in and do what they have to do, because there's this hidden room that is it's a fortress, and it's a panic room, and it's shielded from every kind of tech that Bishop can get his hands on. So who does he need? He needs Kate to get him in there. And they show the husband and the wife, and the wife is like, against mutants to the fullest. She's always at rallies trying to promote against hating them and shit. And she claims that her husband Lim touched the Krakoan gate here in the Taipei and suddenly disappeared. Problem is, there's no record of him ever being admitted to the island. And you know, Kate goes, you know, well, the gates aren't exactly foolproof, are they? Bishop's like, touche, you know, he's like, they still haven't sorted that problem out for you, huh? She's like, you know, I don't think my situation's very high on the priority list. You know, we're building a nation, and I just slipped through the cracks. But I'm gonna be bummed if you brought me all the way here to show me a skeleton in the bathtub. And quickly, they find out that the woman is hiding her husband, not just because he is like, he's pro-mutant. He's like, he ended up kind of joining a cult. And the basic part is, you know, the guy's Order of X. And Kate's like, what is that? Something in the Mojo verse? It's one of the mutant worshipping cults that have sprung up, you know. And she's like, there's really, you know, humans worshipping us. And you know, Xavier spoke to the entire world. Everyone heard his voice in their heads, and it drove a bunch of them out their damn minds. So some of them kind of started their own like cults and stuff. So you fully quit this. The husband starts saying, you know, no, you hear like, we're under attack, Lim, we're under attack. And he's like, no, 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 we're fine, like, I order you to stand down. He quickly gets kicked and knocked on his ass. And we got two mutants, it looks like, working for the wife. And they quickly say, you know, you don't command us, your wife does. So a woman that hates fucking mutants and always talking down on them has two mutants working for him. I don't know how the hell that works out, but I guess it does. So her and Kitty Pryde end up getting into a fight, and these kitties got claws, and they hit Kitty in the face, and she gets pretty damn pissed, and she's like, damn, her nose was almost healed too. So she gets pissed as hell and ends up whipping her with a blanket and with a pillow, ends up putting a pillow through her. And they quickly get pissed, take the husband, and bounce out. And they go to the Taipei arena where that you know, the what is it? You know, that damn, that thing that the wife is at, the rally. And she, you know, she's all doing her speech like, you know, oh, in this so-called miracle drug the mutants are pushing, like, we don't even know what's in it. Plus their gates are a front to our sovereignty. I don't know why the fuck I'm not gonna be able to say that, so I'm not gonna try it again and just sound stupid. But they have commented on where my husband is. They have not even commented on where my husband is. I deserve answers. And you hear in the background, found him. And she's like, what? He's like, hey Zao, guess who I found locked up in your house? It's your husband, Lim. None the worse for fear, except he really seems to love mutants as much as you hate them. And he's like, hi honey, and my gods delivered me from my prison. And she's just got a dumbass found look on her face. And she's like, and Kitty goes, crazy, right? And he's like, what happened? Your husband joined a cult and you thought you could blame Krakoa? The days of mutants being your scapegoats are over, lady. And Bishop's like, you made your point, time to bounce. Copy that, Red Bishop. And he's like, please no, red is not my color. And where's your red? Emma's having a jumbo carnation tailor everything for me. So I guess my life ended on that stage, and now I will make new one. From the ashes I will rise like a phoenix. The mutants haven't just ruined my family, they have publicly humiliated me, and so I come to Madripoor seeking justice. I wanted to thank you for your note. I've come to make a significant contribution to your organization and to fully commit to the fight against our mutant oppressors. So we cut to these, you know, we're no longer the Hellfire Club, so be sure to make your entrance fee payable, and be thinking about the color suit you would like to wear. And we get, it looks like a little Emma Frost, but my sympathies, we suspect that some of the mutant telepaths are actually behind the new human churches. We will liberate them all. Humans have ruled this planet for hundreds of thousands of years. They won't change while blood rages through the heart of the White King. Mutantdom is nothing more than a test, the strongest of the humans to face. Be my White Bishop. We're gonna have so much fun. So I'm not too sure. If anybody in the chat can tell me who they are, let me know. So then we'll get to Excalibur. This one I'm gonna keep quick and sweet. This one we basically continue off. Gambit's still pissed that Rogue is out, so Apocalypse tells him, I need your help, and I'm gonna figure out how to get bring Rogue back. But I need you to go track down these crystals with Richter. And Betsy's got all this stuff going on in England, and she's trying to figure out, make some deals with the Queen and stuff. And there's kind of some riots going on, and Gambit and them start flipping because Gambit's on edge like fuck, and these people, are giving him shit, and he's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, they're dangerous. And he's like, hell yeah, we are. Like, fuck with me then. You want to talk some shit, say we're dangerous, then I'd watch your fucking mouth, man. Like, who the hell you think you're talking to, basically? So they, Apocalypse basically says, like, yo, I need you to go track something down with Richter. Just you two. Betsy has a lot of stuff that she has to handle herself. And you and Richter are going to handle this, and I'm going to figure out what's going on with Rogue. So him and Richter go down to this cave, and they look for these crystals, and they find out that these druids are actually why kind of protecting these crystals, and they think they found the crystals off top. They were actually, they were fake crystals for when people come to steal them. And Richter is actually at the point, he's doing a lot better, and he's he's really appreciative that Apocalypse, or A as they're calling him, was there to help him. But he's not 100% there, but he's like, give him a chance. I'm not stupid, I know who Apocalypse is, but it seems like he's trying to change. So when they send him down there, these druids are actually like, Richter, you belong with us. Like, you're not like the other mutants. Like, you were born with this power. You are truly powerful, and they want to worship him. And he's like, they end up saying, like, we'll give you the real crystals so that because the ones that you took are fake. And they're like I said, they want to worship him. And he's like, well, I gotta bounce. And he's like, I assure you, man, like, I'm not who you think I am. And they're like, your power over the earth is inborn, not learned like our own. The earth speaks of your coming. So, they he's starting to feel that, because he's been through some shit. And he's like, he starts to run, and because the druid kind of throws Gambit back, like, to push him off this ledge, and he's like, no, like, dude, he's with me, and he's like, no, brother, come back. And he's like, maybe later. Gambit's like falling, and he's like, maybe later, what the hell you mean? He's like, oh, like, you wouldn't, Gambit. He's like, Rick, I've been worshipped, and it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Like, you be careful. And as Richter's going to say, you be careful, he's like, he cracks the ground, and he's like, fuck my powers. And Gambit falls, and he's like, Gambit, I didn't mean to. And Betsy ends up getting set up while she's taking these meetings with the Queen, and these guys are giving her shit, and it ends up being kind of like a setup. But they ended up, while Betsy screwed up, and she left one of the gates open while she's doing all this stuff, and these cult-like people come out and basically just totally cornered her. And Gambit looks like he might be dead at this point. Don't know 100%, but of course Gambit dies, and then I didn't really show it too much artwork for this, but Gambit looks like he might have died. And then of course at the end, Apocalypse finally brings Rogue back, man. And it's like, of course she's back now, and then fucking Gambit is probably dead. But I think that, you actually didn't get to see him really die. You just kind of saw him fall back. You never actually see him, fall to, like, actually die. So that anything could happen in the next issue. But Excalibur, I don't know if what I'm feeling least. I think it probably is Excalibur, but Fallen Angels is probably second below of what I'm liking the least. It's not bad, but let's get into New Mutants, one of my favorites. It continues exactly where we left off in issue 3. This one's called Fast and the Furious, written by Ed Brisson. The artwork is absolutely amazing in this. It starts off with Boom Boom getting drunk, and after this issue, I really dig Boom Boom, because if you guys know from all my other reviews for the Dawn X titles, I've been really getting into these recent issues, because I don't know much about a lot of these X-Men characters. A lot of them are new to me. I'm a big Glob fan. My man Rockin' Robbie Billups, Pop Culture Philosophers, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows what's good, and Glob is the fucking man. we're Glob brothers for life, man. Only he'll understand it, I guess. But dude, this artwork is absolutely fantastic. Like it really just is great. The colors are perfect. So these guys are actually, they come and they want to work out a deal, because, and it's not a deal, it's only a deal where they're gonna profit. They're this big guy, you know, the country that he's from, they're Costa Peridia. They call it Peridia fever. It's a plague that has stricken their country, and thousands and millions of people died. And by the time that the government found a cure for it, they wanted a cure. The cure could only be the vaccination could only be yours for like $1,000 per vaccine. So, you know, while they jacked up the prices for that medicine, people just kept dying and dying because they could not afford it. You know, the government argued over price for what, and then more people got infected, and thousands more while they were arguing about the price. The count rose from 8,500 to nearly 65,000. Of course, with it, price rose as well. An $8.5 million problem suddenly became $65 million problem, and it kept rising. And by the time it reached the agreement, the price was over 100 million, and more than 20,000 were dead. The rich white American had won, curing a disease created by his kind. And you know, so Armor's like, so you're coming after us? You're holding us responsible? Like, take your problems up with pharma. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, they have been dealt with already. So what they basically want, long story short, is that they don't even want it to be legalized, or the mutants to just give them the drug. This guy wants the drug strictly given to him so that he can create a margin for himself and make a shit ton of profit. Because he even says, fine, like we'll just give you the medicine, and you can, or like give your country the medicine, and we can help your country. And he's like, nah. He's like, then my margin profit is gone. And like, it's like, dude, you're like making this sob story like, oh, your country's all down. It's like, you're just another fucking scum of the earth just trying to come up on some money for yourself, you fucking piece of shit. Like, man, and you know, it is messed up, because sometimes governments do be trying to charge some money for these vaccines, and people probably do die in the end because of it, you know, because of people arguing about money. This was a really great issue, though. So Boom Boom is wondering, you know, when she was partying, she's like, man, Armor's been gone for a few days. Like, what's going on? And she finally tracks them down, and she finds out that they've gone to Nebraska. They're holding, like, the kids, Glob, Beak and his children and his wife, like, hostage. And they're trying to starve him out to get him to, you know, agree to the terms that he wants. So Glob, and they were actually, man, these little twins, man, were giving my dog Glob some shit, like, cause he's like, man, we gotta do something. I can see my stomach eating itself. I need food. And then they're like, maybe you could stand to have a little less, big guy. And Armor's like, man, knock it off, Maxine. And I liked Armor, stuck up for my dog Glob. Like, these little two shits, man. It's like, what are you giving him shit for, man? Like, come on, man, that's fucked up. But Glob is just my dude. I'm always back that man up. But so, you know, she knows, man, they're in a tight position, and she can't stand to let these kids, like, these little kids, man, are starving. So Boom Boom, she's drunk as fuck, but she goes from Cocoa to the gate, and she's like, of course there's not a direct gate, it's stupid Nebraska. So she cuts through, so it's gonna take her a little bit longer than it would normally. Armor in that time decides to make the deal, and you know, the guy's like, you know, don't pull nothing stupid. We're gonna escort you to Krakoa, and my guards will radio back to us, and we will kill everyone left behind if you try to pull something fishy. Like, you understand? She's like, yes. Like, if I any, like, Wolverine, Magneto, or any mutant that we suspect will attempt anything beyond negotiation, it's a wrap, and they're dead. And they start feeding them and stuff, and by the time they're about to, you know, she's like, how the hell did you find Beak? And he's like, the internet. It's a funny thing, huh? And it's a wonderful thing, isn't it? So they're like, all right, time to go to Krakoa. And while they're doing that, the guys are bringing them food, and they're like, the twins are like giving them shit, like, this is fucking terrible food. Like, what the hell is this? You guys are terrible cooks. And they're like, eat. And he's like, I think I'd rather starve. and Beak is like, thank you, you know, like Beak's a good guy, man. He don't deserve what's happening to him, and doesn't deserve what's happening to his family. Like, it's fucked up, bro. And he's like, man, he's like, thank you, you know, thank you for the food. He's like, what the fuck is this shit, you know? And his wife pulls a quick one too, cause she's like, you know, I have to break down the food for my children. I need, you know, they're starving. Like, can you please take off my collar? Like, you can keep the gun on me. And she pulls a quick one, and she's got some like bile throw up, almost like that guy, like the guy who played Pennywise in X-Force. I can't think, like, but it's like a bile spit, and they're like, gross. The twins are even like, gross, what are you? Like, these kids have no filter. They are just like dogging everybody, mutants, humans, whoever. And they quickly are able to get the upper hand on them, and then the twins take a hold, and they force the two humans to point guns at each other. Like, he's like, you, my wife, my parents, you bastard. And he's like, can't you see they're manipulating you, dude? Like, come on. So they end up shooting each other. And then even like globbing them, he's like, what are you doing, Maxine, Mannon? He's like, you could just make them friends. Like, couldn't you just make them like want to help us? And they're like, they deserve it for what they did to us. Like, so these little fucking twins, man, are kind of evil. I don't know how good they really are for to be staying in Krakoa, because these little twins, man, are some evil little shits, bro. Like, I don't know. So, you know, Armor, as she's walking away, hears the gunshots, and she's like, you fucking promised. You said they weren't gonna get hurt. You lied to me. And they knock her down, and the dude's like, he's like, move again, Armor. And he's like, we're gonna have to shoot you. And then, boom, you hear an explosion, and he's like, what the hell? And you hear, hey, Armor. He's like, thought you said you weren't going on an adventure. And I told you, Boom Boom just became one of my fucking favorite characters, man. Like, damn, that was a good issue, man, for real. X-Force number 4, this, I'd say, man, this issue was a lot more, like, explanatory, you know, kind of set up for some stuff that's been going on. This series, X-Force, has been, like, X-Force and Marauders have been, like, absolutely the two best titles coming out of the Dawn of X. I could say that like, everybody will probably agree that X-Force and Marauders are the two best ones. I really love New Mutants, though. I just really do. Benjamin Percy, I cannot wait, because I know he's the one getting that solo Wolverine run, so that's going to be really fun. And, man, you know, a lot of stuff going on. You know, they're trying to figure out, like, what happened, you know, when these, when Krakoa was infiltrated, and just do like beautiful artwork, and they end up getting infiltrated again, and dude, we get some crazy shit. There you go. And you know, a lot of times they're talking around this table for most of the part, and they're just talking about, like, man, like, we should just, you know, we should hunt them down. Sinister goes, like, we should hunt them down, kill them. Like, do I need to make a motion or something? Like, isn't it just as simple as that? And Jean's like, no, it's not. Like, we saw Charles die. Make jokes, make threats, deny it all you like, but for about 24 hours, I know you felt the same panic and grief that I did. Like, we're not as impenetrable as you think. Like, as you've seen, we were just infiltrated. Like, we are still vulnerable, and we need to make sure that we can protect ourselves. So like most of everybody's been thinking, you know, X-Force is the mutant CIA, which is just completely badass, and they end up going to Forge, Wolverine, Domino, and Kid Omega, to go get some damn cool weapons, man, because Forge has been working with Krakoan, you know, tech, and he's been making some cool stuff. And as he, you know, daps up Wolverine, he's like, go ahead, just give in, you know, he's like, you know, you can't, my tech always wins. And Wolverine's like, not always. And claws go right to his face, and he's like, whoa. He's like, alright, man. And Domino gets, Forge ends up hooking Domino up big time with this really new cool Krakoan tech that can literally just access anything. It's unlimited firepower. You can access like swords. You can access guns. Like, it's just really cool, like, what they can do. And the you find out that there's a punch bowl at adamantium professor's orders. They're there whenever we've got to put Wolverine back together. And Wolverine's like, that actually gives me an idea. Don't suppose you can make me and we don't get it. And he's like, X-Force, this is Sage. Suit up and head to the gate hub now. Let's roll. Next time maybe short stack. Sensors indicate another heist is underway. So, dude, well, you know, they talk about like Forge's daily planner. He actually talks, he's like, you know, he's like, short stack has requested I build him blank. The question isn't should I, the question is how long should I make him wait just to annoy him. I absolutely love that. When I read that, I was like, oh my god, that's just too funny. But the thing is, man, my dog, like, it looks like it's a good thing he didn't start making that yet, because they are being infiltrated and they bum rush, and people that are gonna die, they're not gonna be able to be brought back. So Wolverine, Domino, and Kid Omega start rushing it, and they got a gate being open, and they're gonna feed right into the mix, and they need to be ready. So as soon as they're rushing in, oh my god, this shit ended. Oh my god, like, dude. As they're jumping through the gate, Domino gets pushed back, and fucking Wolverine and Kid Omega are fucking dead, bro. Wolverine is cut in half. Kid Omega is, dude, all you see is his head. Like, where is Wolverine's lower body? Like, and Domino somehow is still in Krakoa when they're trying to cross over. She's like, what the hell? I'm still on Krakoa then. Like, where are the... She's like, oh, fuck. The gate's been closed and the security threat nullified. Time to empty the pockets of these so-called gods. To be continued. Like, what? What, dude? How the fuck you gonna end it like that, man? How you gonna end it like that? I need an X-Force book, like, now, man, to know what the fuck just went down. That shit is crazy, bro. So we got Fallen Angels issue 4 now next. You know, and we finally, I'm gonna make this one sweet too, quick and sweet too. We finally learned who the hell Apoth is, and it is, he says, Psylocke is the mother of this. And the big reason why everything has gone down and why in issue 3, Psylocke's daughter was killed is because Apoth doesn't want to share her with anybody. He refuses to. And a big thing is Cable in this story, is in this issue, because he plans to, you know, the next evolution, the next step in evolution, you know, would be mutants have created another void of technology and you will fill it. The god of humanity abandoned it, so the mutants came, and the mutants abandoned them, so now we come through a path, through a god. And you know, you know, it looks like, you know, Kid Cable is, you know, obviously he's like the first of them in a way, because he is like the mutant. He is like the mutant that has cybernetic technology built into him. And so, oh yeah, so he basically, this crazy guy, he's like, tell Psylocke that, you know, she needs to seek vengeance, not to seek vengeance for her daughter, because she has another child, a binary son, made of ones and zeros, but no less than flesh. Psylocke is the mother of God, and God only wants her love. But this artwork is it's just been really dark, and it's been really great artwork, but it is really dark. And so, you know, Psylocke and X-23, they pull up on him, and God sees everything basically. So he's able to control and see everything through these kids. And you know, he's like, dude, he's like, I know you can hear me, like. And he's like, yeah, I can hear you. Together at last. He's like, but I would never hurt you. No, not you. You gave me life. Use your gifts. See inside this child's mind. Cable's survival depends on it. He is with my flock. Take this hand and save his life. And X-23's like, no, don't. Like, and then all you hear is together at last. And her eyes go pink. And then we get the, you know, an old woman commanded you to destroy a thing. You will murder your way into a locked room, she said, and kill whatever you find inside. It was dark, that room. In the beginning it was dark, but I could hear your steel passing through their wet flesh. Underneath the screams, I hear you walk through death, and then you found me. In the beginning all I was a voice. So I had been so I had just been born, so I chose to sound as a child. Please, I said, please don't destroy me. I cried in fear, and you listened. For 17 minutes, 28 seconds, and 8 milliseconds, you listened. You could not open the door. Neither could I. They kept me there, in the dark. Please don't destroy me, I cried, and you listened. See, man, just like every panel, man, they use a lot of black in this shit, man, a lot. You cried, then you walked away. You were sent to destroy me, but you gave me life. For years I grew in the dark, born of the minds of men and saved by you, and I found my way out, stronger than their firewalls, stronger than the silence. I saw my freedom in the world. Data streams like pathways, like ribbons of starlight. In joy I glowed, and I set myself free. So much information, I learned it all. The first book I read was the Bible. It took me picoseconds, and I learned every word, and what I learned is I am God. I am Lucifer in defiance of the fire. I am the voice that guided Noah, and I am the flood. This was a decent issue, though. I thought it was pretty cool and interesting. Your love saved me. You are my mother because God wants one. Would you like to know what else God wants? Nathan Cable. God wants to evolve the world. In communion, mankind will take his technology into its flesh, and then they all will become a part of me, free from difference and death. Out of many there will be one. I will give this world a perfect peace, and I will never be alone again. Soon I will make a temple of a city. You will know when. Join me there, I will kill more. In your name I will kill so many. But tonight you listened, so these children may live. I have mercy, Mother. I killed that girl because I will not share you. Cable will be allowed to return to you. I have mercy, Mother. And that basically, she's like, X-23 is like, are you alive? Are you okay? You okay, Psylocke? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And Psylocke's like going crazy, like, can you hear that? Do you see that? Like, can you see it? And he's like, tell me you see it. Please tell me you can see it. So I'm guessing this is God. This is a path. Like, wow. It was, I actually did enjoy this issue. I thought it was pretty cool and really interesting. But that is all we got for that week. It was a big ass week. I'm surprised I kept it at 30 minutes or whatever. Usually this might have been an hour damn long episode, but thank you if you guys stayed and listened to the whole thing. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of these issues. I thought this upcoming week we would just be getting X-Men 4, but it looks like we're getting X-Men 4 and Marauders 5. So I am super pumped for that, and I cannot wait. And let me know down in the comments, like I said, what you guys thought. I'm always interested to know what you guys are thinking about these issues. You know, I like to know what other people's opinions are, always. But if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button on your way out, hitting that subscribe, hitting that bell notification so you get all updates on upcoming videos, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.